What is going on, folks? It's CJ here, back with another movie review. This time I am going to be talking about the Peter Berg directed, starring Mark Wahlberg, John Malkovich, Lauren Cohan, Iko Uwais, Ronda Rousey, and CL, who is a J-pop star. And the movie is known as Mal 22. I will say, going into this film, I wasn't expecting. Well, to say I wasn't expecting much is an understatement. I guess I was intrigued because I'm a big fan of Iko Uwais. If you know him, he is from the Raid films, Marintal, uh, Man of Tai Chi. He's been in a lot of really great films. And, the trailer alone, even though, at Mark Wahlberg and Peter Berg, that connection, so to speak, I didn't necessarily feel any sort of one way or another about it. I was just kind of like, it could be good, you know. Um, and I guess really starting off, I never really had an issue with Peter Berg as a director outside the obvious movies because with the movies that he's directed, I've enjoyed him to varying degrees and stuff. I love The Rundown. I love Friday Night Lights. The Kingdom was it's along with Mile 22, very shaky action movie. Hancock, first half great, second half bad. Battleship, not good. Lone Survivor, not bad. Deepwater Horizon, not bad. Patriot Day, very shaky movie. So when I see him doing Mal 22, which is like, what was it, Lone Survivor, Deepwater, Patriots Day. So this is his fourth movie that he's done with Mark Wahlberg. I'm calling Marky Mark. And for me, when it comes to Peter Berg, like when he does action, right? If it's dealing with anything gun related or anything like that, it's not bad. I always felt Peter Berg was like the poor man's Michael Bay. He may not go crazy ridiculous with it, but he's going to try to go ridiculous with it in his own way. And you're going to have varying degrees of whether it's going to be good or bad. Sometimes it's bad, which, I say Battleship and even, Hancock, the latter half of Hancock, and even Patriot Games and the Kingdom and stuff. Times it's good where you got, the Rundown, Deepwater Horizon, Lone Survivor, those kind of movies and stuff, which is, they're pretty good movies for what they're doing. With this movie, the biggest issue with this film is some things. I guess if we're starting back to what I said with the action. Peter Berg cannot film. Apparently, does not know how to film hand-to-hand combat. If you have somebody in Iko Uwais, who, if you've seen in the Raid movies, Berg really botches it in terms of filming, Iko doing his thing. It's very jarring watching it. It's very shaky camera. Born Identity, the edits is just it's just annoying as fuck. And it really does Iko a disservice. It does him a huge disservice because if you've seen the Raid movies, the way they film the fight scenes is very pulled back. You see the fights. There's no edits. You just see it in its raw form. And the problem is that we're seeing so many cuts and edits, and it hurts the fighting scenes. It hurts the action scenes as a whole, but it's more in particular the fighting scenes. And the editing and just the way he films it, it doesn't it you don't really get to see Iko showcase things. Like, it's kind of like, okay, you see him kicking ass, you see him murking people and stuff, and that's fine. But just the action that gets up to that point where he's doing those things, it does a huge disservice to it. On another hand, you got Mark Wahlberg's character in James Silva. He's supposed to be this super secret, this super smart leader of this tactical paramilitary operation and stuff. Super smart. His parents died and that brother died in a car accident. Blah blah blah. He's super smart. he does this little thing over the course of the movie where he snaps a rubber band around his wrist and stuff like that, and he's being a fucking total douche to everybody that he's talking to. But everybody's like, well, that's him. He's a douche, but he gets the job done. That kind of shit. But it's done in such a way that you don't really care for the character. You're just like, yo, I hope somebody punches him in the face. And that's a problem, is because his character is just a straight up dick from beginning to end. Over the course of the film, he's narrating the happenings that's going on in this film. And at no point do you even feel like liking that character. And he's just unlikable. And that should never be the case for a character, but it's there. And it all ties into this whole thing with this film where they do this thing where they try to be like, we're so Call of Duty, we're this Call of Duty-esque type movie where we got to get these terrorist sons of bitches, and, to kind of keep it with real life, they got to face the off against Russians. Because the basic premise, just to rewind it back before I continue, the basic premise is that James Silva and his paramilitary operations group, which is consisted of Lauren Cohan's character Alice, Ronda Rousey, who is alright in this movie, she ain't nothing to write home about, and a bunch of other people are part of the squad. I don't know, the names ain't really clicking. They're all part of this group, and Lee Nor, who is played by Iko Uwais, they need to transport him to this plane because he has information for this chemical that got stolen and stuff, and he knows where it's going to be at and stuff. And the plot goes, you've seen this kind of plot where they got to escort somebody that's a high valuable asset and stuff, and everybody's coming after him. We've seen this movie before. We've seen it in the movie SWAT. We've seen it in that Bruce Willis movie 16 Blocks. You've seen these kind of scenarios before where they're transporting somebody and shit goes downhill and stuff. And the movie throws a twist, which, I mean, it'd be stupid of me to sit there and say that, oh, I knew it was coming. No, I didn't see it coming in a sense, because and this is just me talking here. The twist in the movie, it's one of those I should have caught on to it, but I didn't. Because especially the way this film goes, you're kind of expecting when's the other shoe gonna drop. So it's one of those twists, those plot twists where you just rolling your eyes like, whatever and stuff. But going back to what I was saying about the issues with the film and stuff, and it kind of ties into the plot as well. James Silva's character, Mark Wahlberg's character, he's just a dick through and through, and he's not a likable person, and it sucks too because you're supposed to be, you're supposed to be rooting for Mark Wahlberg's character, but you don't, in a sense. And then they'll get it twisted. You do, because he's the default good guy. You're like, oh, hopefully he ends the mission so we can finally get it over with and stuff. And you're supposed to be kind of looking at Lee Nor like he's the bad guy, and it doesn't really work that way. And even with the twist and stuff, you're still kind of like, okay, where is this going? And then the movie just ends. I mean, the movie clocks in literally at like a smooth 90 minutes. So everything goes pretty quick. You got John Malkovich, he's playing James Bishop, who is like doing the behind the scenes, leading his team on and stuff like that. And it's just the way everything is structured. Again, I just don't care. I think Lauren Cohan's character is the only one I really care about, and they do a little throwaway with her dealing with her being on the job, and it kind of taking away her time with her kid, and it's putting her marriage on the rocks and stuff. All these things is just happening, and it's just like ultimately by the time you get to the end of the movie, you're like, I don't care anymore. Like the plot is by the numbers, which I know that's saying a lot considering a lot of movies that's coming out, but it's like the action is just so like, it's okay to just like, can this end already? Because the shaky cam shit and the way it's filmed is just, the editing is just what kills it. And it kind of kills your enjoyment a bit, at least for me it killed it in the sense that I wanted to care and I didn't. And it's just the whole structure of just where everything goes with this film, you don't care. And then when you do get the plot twist, it's like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. It's like his character is being verbally abusive. You know, all these, the backstory with the Overwatch team that's watching over Mark Wahlberg's character. They're based off of chess pieces and stuff like that, and it's just all of it doesn't just it. You would think all of it would come together to make sense, and it doesn't. And that's why I was saying at the end of the day, it's hard for me to really recommend this film because they do the whole scare tactic of we got to get these terrorists and stuff, and they do a lot of just you know scare just kind of like, oh, it's all he's doing all like I guess it all comes down to this. It feels like all the behavior of Mark Wahlberg's character is that he's doing it for his bottom line. He has to get the mission done. And at no point in time are you really feeling as though it's acceptable. All this in the name of national defense, like really, like it's just it's annoying, and again, it's saying a lot because we've seen those kind of hard ass characters, but most of those hard ass characters have a redeeming aspect to it. Like we know why they're like that. And even if we don't excuse why they're being assholes to everybody and stuff, we at least have a fundamental understanding of why they are the way they are. Sometimes they're assholes because they went through an experience. That character probably went through something in their life that made them that way. Or it's always something that gives that character here. And in this instance, in this movie, I don't fucking care. You know, so you got bad fight scenes. You have a plot that's it's serviceable, but it there's a lot of plot threads that don't go anywhere. And like I said, when you get the reveal and you get the rationale for why, you're like, okay, whatever. I guess we're getting a sequel, you know, and and just characters you don't care about. I think Lauren Cohan's character is the only one that you really care about to an extent, and that's only because of her personal stuff. And even then, it's just very paint by numbers on everything. So it's just the movie overall didn't do what it aimed to sit there and do. And by the time you get to the end of the film, you're just like, well, that's a thing. And I think more than anything, considering that this film was kind of co-produced by a lot of Chinese productions and stuff, I see this as something that maybe they're gonna push this through, and they'll probably make its money, you know, make its money back and all that stuff. But it's just everything about this movie that had the potential to be a pretty good movie. It's just not that good, ultimately at the end of the day. And that's a shame because, like I said, I like Iko Uwais. I like Iko. I watch the Ray films and stuff, and I just feel that him being in this movie, even though he was the best thing about this film, it still didn't highlight why he is the best at what he is in these films and in the fighting sense and stuff. I mean, granted, it was cool that he can speak English and stuff very fluently, so that does bode well in terms of what he's going to do next and stuff. So I'm curious to see what it is. But just everything else, like I said, Ronda Rousey is in this film, and okay, she's here. None of the characters. It's just ultimately the movie makes you just not give a shit about these characters, and even by the end of the film doesn't care about the twist that it sets up and executes. It doesn't care to sit there and give the audience any sort of resolution on a lot of the plot threads that they opened up. And it's just ultimately at the end of the day, it just ends and you're just sitting there just like, well, I'm glad it ended. So, and to be quite honest and stuff, it's a shame. Because like I said before, the potential was there for it to be at least a pretty decent movie, and the movie just fell flat on its face. So, if I had to give this movie anything, it's a 4 out of 10. I wouldn't waste your time and stuff. It's definitely one of those leave in the background kind of movies and stuff. Yeah, I mean, if you choose to go see it, fine. But it's just overall, I can't recommend this movie at all. So it's a 4 out of 10. So, anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.